So, in terms of the resources we are creating, when you think of it in terms of daily rhythms, in one way it can sound very difficult, but in some ways it's also simple because there are some tips or techniques that you can use throughout the day. So, if you're saying smile, practice silence, use a soft voice. These actually cut across activities, right? So one of the things we have started to do, and this video from Ujjwal this week was the first one of the series, tip of the week. And we are going to take one small tip, like smile. The next one that's coming up is silence and soft speech. So we're going to take one tip and talk about it, and he's going to explain it in 2 3 minutes what it means, how it helps peace, and so forth. So one of the ways to get started is to simply follow the tip of the week. It gives you something simple that you can do through the day. The second thing that we're doing, which has already had impact, is our daily posters. Because when we share the posters, I'm always including some simple idea like, you know, sunshine, silence, and soothing sound. And that gets people thinking, maybe we should be out in nature a little bit more. Maybe we should have more silence during the day. So, those two, which is the tip of the week from Ujjwal and our daily shares, might give you small things that you can, immediately start practicing. I think all of you are in the race class. Now, that gives you more specific activities to work on. The Sunday sessions, we do folding, we'll start mandala, we'll do other things, and we'll also practice raise. So that also gives you activities. Now, the difference between the tip and the activities. Let us say we give a tip, smile, right? Now you're just going on a walk, you're just strolling around and you're smiling. That may not necessarily address specific holistic development goals such as language, right? When you come to the race class and you do storytelling and you do a movement activity, you're doing both. You're working on peace and you're addressing specific holistic development goals like language and um, cognitive skills and movement and many other skills. So that's, I think, the importance of the raise experience because you're addressing both peace and specific developmental goals. And then most important is the newsletter. I encourage everyone to go through the newsletter because I'm compiling the links to all the resources with explanations in each week's newsletter. So you can't implement everything at once, right? So take a small thing and try to implement it. But if you go through the newsletter, it's all available for you. So I suggest you go through the newsletter. So if you take this week's newsletter, there's a link to the tip of the week, link to a journal where I'm compiling all our daily shares. There's a link to the raise, the dawn is rising song. There's a link to the Sunday workshop and so on. So I encourage everyone to actually stay focused on the newsletter. Even if you're not following the daily posts, if you go to the newsletter, you're going to get everything there. So if the daily shares are hard to follow because they keep, some days you have time, some days you don't have time. I think the best way to do it is probably just follow the newsletter. Any questions on that? So my advice is to just follow the newsletter, and I'm going to do one weekly, so you have access to all the resources in a structured way. So any other thoughts, questions? Neetu, you had some question?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. The thing is, I am not able to get him to participate in any of the like a structured activity. So he likes to explore things on his own,
That's fine.
and yeah, but he will engage with the with something for a few minutes on his own. He doesn't like any instructions or do the let us try this or nothing. And if I plan to do something with him like folding circles, and I have the circle cut out and kept, he doesn't want to see that. The moment he sees that, he will take it away and put it away. So
Hmm.
So that is like a that some kind of an anxiety, maybe, I don't
Yes.
know. Um,
See, maybe he's
so
expecting, maybe he's seeing that as some kind of a demand that, oh, if you're bringing out circle, you're going to make him do something. So
yeah.
that's probably how he's perceiving it. But I think if you work on the co-regulation, so what is something he likes to do?
So he likes sensory play, like playing with beads, throwing beads, but he doesn't like to arrange or thread the bead or anything. But
Hmm.
he likes to throw beads on the floor and see how it falls.
Hmm.
And playing with rice, dal, and water bubbles.
So,
Um,
my suggestion to you is maybe introduce it that way. So, for example, if you take the paper and if it's let us say you make a solid shape like tetrahedron, you make a couple of tetrahedrons and join two tetrahedrons, even make. In fact, next week we can do this. We can actually make an icosahedron, which actually looks like a ball. Then
uh-huh.
don't ask him to fold. Just take that ball and start playing with him with that,
Yeah.
and then slowly say, just pick up color. Don't ask him to do anything. Just say, oh, I'm going to color it, and you put a little bit of color on it. If he joins, fine. If he doesn't, fine. So I think it may be whenever you're taking out something, he's maybe seeing this, oh, this is something my mom's going to make me do. Maybe that's the issue there.
Yeah. So the thing is, he doesn't want me to do also. He
Ma'am,
Yes.
doesn't.
maybe
So
I
I think it's something to work on though, because eventually, you can't just have the child alone. So this is why I was bringing up even to Suchita, it can't be just child-led.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
the what RDA teaches us is co-regulating means it's guide-led, and child needs to be able to co-regulate with the guide. So it might be a
yeah,
very slow process, but I think somewhere you have to get that. So if you do something like, okay, he likes to throw things. Okay, we'll
yeah.
start with making a ball from this thing, evolve that, whatever he likes. But I think at some point, some lead has to shift to the guide because
Yeah,
child needs
that's
to be
where
able to, yes.
finding
So
completely clueless. Yeah,
do it very small and do it from what he likes to do. Just
yeah.
you know, uh,
Uh,
evolve that a little bit.
yeah,
Because-
the thing is, the moment they somehow he senses that she has a plan, she's trying something. And the moment he senses that, I will either, even though the thing he was playing with or he's interested in, he'll just keep it away. He'll
But
just take it and keep it away.
but I was noticing him in Ujjwal's class. I thought he was pretty cool. He was sitting there
Yeah,
smiling, and
yeah, yeah. Now
and
also he's very happy. The thing is,
no,
I don't have
see
any plan.
see. I think you may want to do that. Just get into the habit of maybe, for example, play Ujjwal's videos, one or two. Just
Yeah,
play them, and you do
yeah,
whatever you want. Don't try to follow or make him follow the what he's
yeah.
doing. I saw that day you were just holding him and doing,
Uh,
some rocking, and
yeah.
so do like that. Just do whatever you're doing, but let it
Mm.
be in the background. Then maybe, just introduce one movement. So something like that. So I think
Yeah,
I think let him just get used to it in the background. Let it be there and you do something. Because I thought he was very good. He sat for the whole class and he was,
yeah. The moment the that shifts, right, that something is asked from him, he will
yes.
close the laptop and go.
Yes.
He will
So
not.
I think you just have to just go with that. And I think you were just doing however you engage him. You were like just
Yeah,
rocking with him and doing things like that. And then without asking him to do anything, you can show an animal, or you can, not asking him to do anything.
yeah,
And if you just do it, and that's the power of imitation, because if you just show,
yeah,
uh, you're not asking him to do anything. So
yeah,
I think that may be the way to bring it in.
yeah. It
Because
will be
some
raspberry.
because
Yeah.
some children are particularly resistant to performance demands. So if the moment he sees it as a demand, it's gone.
And the thing is, he has not been to any therapies or anywhere where he's like demanded to do anything, but still he has that.
Yeah, I think so. I think
Yeah.
it's a slow process, but I think if you can slowly shift so that fear is not there, that okay, I can
Yeah, yeah,
do with this
yeah,
person. So
Yeah.
I think it might be a slow process, but he was good in class. Come to class, he was fine. He was sitting there, I was happy that he was sitting for the whole class. So I think you might have to just start with that. Yes, Karna?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
any other questions, Monica, Gitanjali, Suchita? But I think it's a good goal. I think work on co-regulation. I think Manju has been posting things on co-regulation. You might want to take a look at that also.
No, ma'am, I'm all good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
मैम this has been एक सेकंड कौन कौन जाएगा आप भी पूछे जाए लेके जाएंगे क्या मैम you gave such an interesting insights ma'am it's like more than a workshop I actually attended it fully but I still want to listen the recording again really ma'am we don't know ma'am I was telling to Janak also we are so blessed to have you ma'am and if we change one life so ma'am our life is worth it
It's
imagine
funny.
ma'am
I myself go back. I myself and go back and listen to the recording because then I hear what the parents are saying, and I find it
हाँ, हाँ,
when I
so
re-listen to
ma'am
it,
you are
there's
like
something more there
very good.
always.
Very good. Well done, ma'am. As somebody who has been a RDI parent myself, for you to simplify it much further and explain, incredible, ma'am.
See,
Incredible
I,
what
I
you
think
do.
see what I felt with RDI is, and this is what was an
There's a gap.
eye opener for me with Ujjwal, which his style is so low key, whereas our RDA considered all used to be very energetic and very, let's have fun type of person. But what I realize is Anant really needs this. He needs somebody who's, that's what I realized working with Ujjwal for, from 2022, that that's the style he really connects to. But there's some interesting things there too, that even though he, there was another lady in Manu's coding class. She again had that soft voice, that he liked her too. So, and then I've seen the piano teacher a few times. I said, okay, good. He seems to have the same low key thing. But even if the guide has that low key thing, the activity also matters. So if he goes to the hashtag code, it's all coding and so even if the guide has a similar style, has the same low key thing as Ujjwal, the activity is still not that calming for him. So I think it's a mix of place, guide, and uh, the experience. All of these things have to come together. And then, when everything comes together in a beautiful way, I think you realize what works. And then when something is a little bit away from that, like the piano class and putting on the headphone, okay, that's a moment to explore. Okay, what is troubling me? That sensory thing is troubling me. Everything else is fine. So I just need to work with that. So that is a problem because if your whole day is full of chaos, you don't know which variable is causing a problem. That is the problem. You don't know what to work on. But if your day is more smooth and then you have this one, challenge, then you know what you need to work on. So that is the problem. Because when they go to school or go to skating class or group classes, there are so many variables, right? You don't know what is causing a problem. So, so that's why I feel fortunate we were able to homeschool and, but 20 years back, we had, it's very interesting. We had almost the same mix that we are having now. That's the interesting part of it. But now with awareness, now I'm like, okay, I know. So now Ananta started saying, we need to go back to the Enki like days. We need to go back to Enki like days. He has started recognizing now that, these are the mix of variables that work. So I think as a parent, I feel like that's a big part of our role for them to understand what works and what doesn't work and what's too much for them and what are their limits and advocating for themselves. So if they can do that, I think they can navigate the world better because otherwise, after us, who's going to do it for them? Right? I mean, we can watch and say, oh, I think he needs a little bit of mandala now, but nobody else is going to do that.
So, ma'am, it's all about building patterns
Yes.
because of that
Yes.
only, another
Yes.
like
Yes.
I like NK days. It's all
Yes.
about
Yes.
patterns.
But the,
Mm.
the, the good news there is, I think our children are they are basically more pattern oriented. Once they can see the pattern, see when there are too many variables, like this is what was happening in Bangalore, because there were just too many variables. So we don't know what is causing a problem. Is it the bright lights? Is it the costume? Is it too many people talking? We don't know what is causing the problem. But we go to Tiruvannamalai and it's like a controlled experiment, right? Everything is, there's one variable, fatigue. So then you can pinpoint, right? If there are too many things going off at the same time, we don't know what to do. So, I'll post the video and I'd love to hear what people are doing with activities. So think of it in this layers. One is a single activity. One is like a lesson, like the raise unit, right? You have an opening, ending, and something in the middle. That's a lesson. So individual activity, lesson, and daily rhythm. So I think thinking of peace on all these levels would be useful. So that's what I feel. So we've been, really focused on routines, putting in calming activities and so on for the last 2-3 years. That's what we've been focusing on the most. So, and hopefully, you all get to do it a little bit earlier than we got to it. So any other thoughts, questions, comments? Okay, then. So let me post these recordings. And I think what we've talked about today is for the 100 days and even beyond. It's, we've been doing it for years now. So this is just sort of putting the ideas on the table, so to speak. So let's continue the conversation and we'll take a little bit at a time in each session. What I thought was at least once a month we need to do a parent session because there's so many things to discuss. Other sessions we can do more like the workshops, but one session a month, let's do like this so we have a little bit of time to talk in more detail. So does that sound reasonable? Like the workshop format, all the other weeks, and one parent session.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, I liked last time when along with Lavanya Meher couldn't attend, but
Yeah.
we did folding circles. I would like such type of sessions more. Let us do some activity for
Yeah.
half an hour together.
Yeah. I mean, mostly we'll do that, but once in a while, like today, we did need a little bit of a
Ah,
extended discussion.
yeah,
So I
sure.
think sometimes we're going to need that as well. So okay. So next week we'll go back again to that format.
Ma'am, I have a point. Ma'am, we can always do activities. Gitanjali, see, I'll tell you one thing that half an hour for doing activity, will not be helpful. But what ma'am is telling, I've heard thousands of people. These are words of wisdom, Gitanjali. We should not miss that, ma'am. See, even today's session was so good. Like, you are thinking very short term if you're only thinking, let's do an activity. Because ma'am's time is also limited and she's giving that much of time to us. Gitanjali,
I think we need a
I think it's
mix. I feel
important that at least twice a week we have these discussions, ma'am, like workshop kind of a thing. Because once we understand the concept, no, Gitanjali, we can take it forward. You got what I'm trying to say, right? No, who tell me, Gitanjali, today in this world, which professional, which parent, without any expectation, is talking like this to us? Correct. So, ma'am, this is very.
Definitely. Like just now, ma'am is
You attend any workshop,
saying a mix is better maybe
thousands, lakhs, we
if
will,
we
and we
have
will
a
just
45 minutes.
yeah.
we should
See, I think
continue this.
Like if we
like see
have a
today we had
45 minutes.
see if we have one extended
want to
discussion like this, then the next
uh,
week we can do like a 20-minute activity and 20-minute discussion because we've had a pretty in-depth discussion today. And then again,
Exactly. I was going to say the same.
yeah. Then after
Uh,
2-3 weeks, we may again need a session like this to, go
hmm.
into more depth. So I think that mix will be good. Because what will happen is,
Hmm.
let us say I invite Lakshmi and she does mandala. But you also have to know these variables, right? To say, oh, she's doing mandala. That's a good one because I can use it for peace in this way. It can bring me peace. It can bring. So that explanation she won't give. She'll just come and show the mandala and go. But it's for us to know the variables and say, this is how this can help us. Or to say, oh, how
Yes,
should I
ma'am.
do this mandala? Maybe I should not be forcing him. maybe I should let him choose this way, or, whatever it is. Those variables, I think, become important. Okay. Okay, then. So let's go with this format. At least once a month, let's do this in-depth discussion. And then the workshops also will have one chunk of time for discussion. So it'll be like maybe 20 minutes for the activity and, 15 minutes. But once you understand the piece components, daily rhythms, all that 15 minutes is enough to actually have a good discussion. So, but periodically, I think we're going to have a longer discussion like this. Okay, then. So we'll see you all next week.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye-bye.